Hey, welcome back to Monique's Book List. First of all, I want to say thank you for the warm welcome to BookTube. Pretty excited to be here. And I want to add to the community. So I want to help people read for less. So what do I mean by that? I mean, how do you read books at a cheaper cost to yourself? For me, the reason why I had to come up with this format or this plan for myself was because when you have children, or for me, just one, when you have one child, you have to, of course, cut costs. You have to find ways to manage your budget and make sure that everyone is getting something that they enjoy throughout the month. For me, books are a big part of my life. I love to read. So I wanted to find a way where I could read and listen to books and not break the bank. I was spending way too much money in the past on books. Like books are expensive, and I had to find a way to read for less. So these are some of the ways I read for less, and I don't use all of these because I don't need them all. They're just some options. I just wanted to be able to provide a bunch of options for you. Of course, the first and foremost option is, of course, your local library. Now, before we go any further, I want to talk about the word I just said. I said library. Yes, I said it weird. I have a thing with my tongue. Blame it on my head, not my heart. Okay? Alright, so let's get back to it. Local library, there's tons of ways to read, or tons of books that they have, of course. If you're like me, I prefer ebooks and audiobooks. For space purposes, we do have bookshelves, but they're family bookshelves, shelves, so they can't be all of my books. And I'm gonna go ahead and say this. It's probably gonna break a lot of hearts. I am not attached to books, covers, and actual physical books. Like I don't. It doesn't do anything for me to hold a book versus reading it on my tablet or my phone. It does nothing for me to have a physical book versus an ebook. I have friends, my best friend, she is the opposite. Like she can't read on her ebook. Like she's tried. It's not for her. But I don't have that attachment. So because of that, these plans work for me. Many of them work for me because of that reason. I do have some options for physical books, so we're going to talk about that too. So with my public library, I use two apps that they offer. They offer Overdrive and they offer Libby. Both apps work on both Android and Apple. Most of the apps that we're going to talk about today work on both phones. Um, with Libby and Overdrive, they have both ebooks and they also have audiobooks. The thing that you have to manage with about the library in general, whether it's you physically get a book from them or if you're using their apps, is that you have to manage the fact that there may be a waiting list. So if you can't be patient and wait for a book, some of these options may not work for you. So this option, if you don't mind waiting for a book, if you don't mind putting it on hold or being the next person in line to get the book, or if you don't mind getting all your books at once, if you put 16 on hold and you get all 16 at once, has happened, true story. Uh, so yeah, so what I do in that, and for that particular thing, usually you can tell how far you're in the wait. Like if you know that you're 2.5 weeks out, and you know that you're reading a book that is going to take you a while to read, you may just tag that book, and then go put yourself on the waiting list at a different time. So you'll learn how to manage it if you're okay with that. If you're not okay with that, you got to find other options, and I got some more for you. So the next option is Scribe. Scribe is a service that's $8.99 a month. It is much like the library. You're kind of borrowing the books. So for $8.99 a month, you get to borrow unlimited amounts of books. Here's the kicker about this app or about this service is if you're reading a series of books, what I've noticed is it only lets you grab a few of the books in the series. Like if it has let's say the series is 9 books, you're able to grab the first 3 books, maybe the 4th book. You go to read that fifth book, it's going to say, hey, you have to wait until next month to read it. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with waiting to read books. I don't know. I've never been very impatient about reading a book. I think it's because I don't read a lot of in books or pop. I don't want to do that. That's rude. I don't popular books. I don't read a lot of them. I read a lot of books that I just like to read, so I don't mind waiting for them because I know they're gonna be there. So that's the only thing about the service that you have to keep in mind. The second thing again is that you're borrowing the book. It's not yours. So if you ever stop the service, you don't get to keep that book. You don't get to keep any books that you're reading at the time. Um, and again, I'm okay with that because I don't reread books normally. If you're okay with borrowing books for $8.99 a month, then Scribe will work for you. Of course, we have the Amazon. Amazon has various ways you can read and purchase books. You know that you can purchase books from their website. They even have secondhand books that you can purchase, like physical books, like you can purchase physical books. But they also have a lot of ebook services too. Like they have the Kindle Unlimited. They also have the Prime Reading that comes a part of your Prime service. So Kindle Unlimited, much like Scribe, it's $1 more, so it's $9.99. And yeah, both ebooks, and they do have some books that they call with narration, which means that while you're reading the book on your Kindle app, you can listen to the book too. When I did have that service, I used to read history books like that. Like I read the Rise and Fall of Ancient Rome like that. Because all right, so talk about the next service. It's called Kobo or Kobo. I don't know, Kobo. I'm gonna say Kobo. Now, Kobo is an actual online book store, if you will. You can purchase books for whatever price they are. And if you sign up with them, I literally just signed up with them to see how the service worked. They're giving me $5 off of my first purchase of my first ebook, and I get a free audiobook for the first month of my service with them. After that, if I keep the Audible or the audiobook service, then I would have to pay $16.95. I'm not gonna do that because I have Libby and I have Scribe, and that's all I need in my life. So yeah, you get a free book if you want to just test the service. Everything on here that I'm talking about has an app that can go on an Apple phone or Android phone. So yeah, again, and again, I'm gonna take advantage of that $5 for that ebook. So I'm gonna get my $5 and purchase myself a book. Of course, we're gonna talk about Audible. Now, you've heard me call every service on here Audible, but there is a service called Audible, which is also a part of Amazon. Now, anyone that knows anything about BookTube, you don't even have to know about BookTube. You could talk vloggers, fashion vloggers, you all know. Audible is an audiobooks, and we know that they're a monthly service. The cheapest plan they have is $14.95 plus tax. So when I had the service, it rounded up about $16 and some change, and I got one credit a month with that package, and I was able to get one book a month, and that I would just get it every month. 16 some change for a book. Now, the thing with Audible, it is an audiobook. I get to keep all the books. Even now that I have canceled my service with them, I still own all the books that I purchased with them, which happens to be 365. But they also offer romance packages, and you can pay $6.99 on top of whatever membership plan you pick, which they have many membership plans. The cheapest one was a 14. That's why I only mention that, because that's the cheapest one. $6.99 for the romance package. If you just want the romance package and you don't want to read any other genre of books, you can get that package, and it's $14.95 also. We all know that you can return any book that you want, anytime you want, with no hassle. So yeah, Audible, if you're cool with listening to books, Audible is probably the best plan technically because you get to keep the book. But if you're like me and you don't really re-listen or reread books, maybe Audible's not for you. So there's Scribe. And I'm going to leave links to everything in the bottom here so you can go check it out for yourself. Now, I'm going to speed through really quickly to talk about physical books because, again, I don't purchase a lot of physical books. So I'm going to do it real quick. So, of course, you can do Book of the Month. There's a website, I think it's called Book of the Month. Their books are their membership is $9.99. You get one book. You can purchase additional books if you want. You can skip when you want to. Again, I signed up for all this stuff. I mean, well, I didn't sign up for that. I just read about that one because again, I don't get physical books. I don't read physical books. So other ways you can get physical books, secondhand bookstores. We all know about them. The one here locally is Half Price Books. There's also Goodwill. There's always consignment shops and the dollar store. My friend she finds tons of books. They're not like crazy quality, but still, I mean, you get a book at the dollar store for $1. Pretty awesome. Okay. All right. Also, don't forget to look at your actual phone. Like Apple has a way to purchase books, like ebooks. I think even Google Play has a way to purchase books, ebooks, and also I think audiobooks too. Just I'm tired. I'm gonna hurry this up. All right, so let's talk about this really quick. There's a thing called public domain books, and mainly public domain books are the classic books, like all of Shakespeare. What did I say? Shakespeare? No, I think Shakespeare is public domain. I'm probably wrong. But all of Sherlock Holmes, Picture of Dorian Gray, all those books are public domain books. Unless you have a nostalgic connection to these books, I urge you not to pay for them. I urge you to use some way, some free avenue to read them. They are the classics. They are the classics for a reason. Please go read them for free. Please do not spend money on them. There's tons of audio book options on your phone that will let you listen to public domain books. There are websites that will let you read the books for completely free. I will send you or put a link to a website that will give you all of the books or allow you to read all the books online. There was a campaign like 2 years ago to help people understand that public domain means free to you. Okay, so yes, I have on new clothes and I look different because I'm filming the end of this video at a different day. I just want to say that I kind of got preachy at the end about public domain books, so I kind of cut myself off. But I just wanted to say there's a website out there that will allow you to read public domain books for free. And I'm going to put all the links to everything below, to Scribe, to Kobo, to Audible, to Libby, to Overdrive, did it again. Overdrive, everything in the description box below so that you can check out everything. Thank you so much for watching the video, and yes, so I look forward to talking to you more. Bye.